Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and today I'll be recommending gay romances using the songs on the album Blue Neighbourhood by Troye Sivan because Troye Sivan is one of my favorite artists and he's gay and I wanted to recommend some gay romances, so I thought it was perfection. The first one is Wild, and Wild is about when you are falling in love for the first time and it's all butterflies and rainbows and happiness. And for this one I have Fade Offs and Cheap Shots. These titles are driving me wild. It's an enemies to lovers college romance, so it's all fun, light, happiness. It's about Beck and Jacobs and they're just perfect for each other and they think they don't like each other, but I think they're just attracted to each other. And for this I have the quote, and it's, "You make my heart shake, bend and break, but I can't turn away. It's driving me wild. You're driving me wild." And it's just them. If you want this kind of vibes, try this back. The second one is Fools, and Fools is the reason why I needed to do this video, because every time I'm listening to this song I'm just saying Danny from the Spectral Files, because the book is all about building in your mind the future with the person you are in love with. So you have like, I see swimming pools and living rooms and aeroplanes, I see a little house on the hills and children's names, I see quite nice part over eyes and takeaway, and everything is shattering and it's my mistake. So someone who was imagining all this perfect future with someone and this other someone didn't want that or just went away, and for that it's just, this is the song Danny was singing when Rain left him. Danny wanted to give Rain all his life and Rain changed him for a promotion. Rain technically had an excuse, that is, he wasn't prepared to tell Danny, "I love you and I also see ghosts," but he never told Danny, of course, so Danny didn't know that. So I was seeing Danny singing "Only fools fall for you, only fools fall, only fools do what they do, only fools fall." And the book starts when Rain comes back to the city they left together when they were boyfriends, and Danny's still there. It's a second chance romance, of course, and they're just perfect together, and it's just, this song is screaming Danny. Then we have Is. Is about someone who is probably on tour and he's missing all his family and his boyfriend, and he's feeling the struggle and the pressure of having to be there all alone. And this is like, if this gets out, this is a book about a boy band, One Direction style. There are 4 of them. 2, Ruben and Zach, are the heroes of the story, and Zach is straight, but he's having a crush on Ruben, and Ruben has been in love with Zach for a lot of time. He's gay. His friends know he's gay, but their manager doesn't let him to come out. He's always like, the next song, the next month, the next year, and he's been like that for a while. He just needs to be his true self, and all of them are going through a lot. You are seeing that it's destroying itself, all the pressure. They always have to dress exactly like their managers tell them to dress and sing and behave, and it's not themselves anymore. And you see the struggle, and it's more about that than about the romance. You do have a romance, but the romance is like the support. So it reminds me, like, it's just exactly like Is. I think in this fictional world they are singing this song because it says, "The truth is, the stars are falling, babe, and I never thought that I would say, I'm afraid of the life that I've made. Take me back to the basics and the simple life. Tell me all the things that make you feel at ease, your touch, your comfort, my lullaby, hold on tight, and sleeping at night." These 2 are Zach and Ruben trying to get through all this mess. This is their song. Then we have Talk Me Down, and this is a song about someone who is going through some mental health illness, and he wants the comfort of his lover, and he says, "But I wanna sleep next to you, I wanna come home to you, I wanna hold hands with you, I wanna be close to you, and that's all I wanna do right now." So for this I have the perfect one, and it's Carry the Ocean. This book, I thought it was going to be more about the romance, but it's more about the mental health representation. So you have Emmett, who has autism, is actually the reason why I read this, because I was reading all the books about autism I was finding, because I really relate with autistic characters, and it's about Jeremy. And Jeremy starts in a very bad position because he has clinical depression, but his parents are the ones that do not believe in clinical depression, so they're always doing the wrong things. And he meets Emmett, and Emmett just knows how to help him, and he will get the professional help he needs, and he will start making change on his life so he can finally live. And that's like the journey is the book. And I thought the kind of book is very necessary. After reading this book, it made me understand better depression and be able to help people. I mean, you are not going to be a professional, but sometimes I'm sure there is someone on your life that is going through that, and sometimes you don't really know what to say. And I think this book really helped with that. It's just this song, like Emmett was that comfort, that home for Jeremy, and they were so pretty. Then I have Cool, and this song has so many details that it was completely impossible for me to find just one book that has everything that is mentioned here. But if I'm going for the cool vibes, like the quote that says, I was just trying to be cool, I was just trying to be like you, that vibes, I have Project Hero by Briar Prescott. This book is about a hero, Andy, that he doesn't really dress well, and he wants to change that and to just do a makeover. So his best friend notices him and realizes that they are perfect for each other. So the entire book will be the hero, Love, helping Andy with the makeover in exchange of Andy teaching physics to Love's teammates. He was just trying to be cool. And the other one I have is more centered about the complete vibe of the song, because the song is about someone who lives the luxury life and it's not working for him. So it says, when I got that cigarette smoke and Saint Laurent coat, but nothing is feeling right. I drink but I choke. I love but I don't. So he's not really happy. And for that I have Private Charter by N.R.Walker. This book is about a man who, I don't remember exactly what he did, but he worked in investment or banks or something like that, and he had a lot of money, but it was a high pressure life. So his daughter commands him to go on vacation, and he decided to go on a yacht with his friends with benefits, but in the last minute his friends with benefits decided not to go, so he goes by himself. And the owner of the yacht is someone who used to have the same life as him, but he decided to run away from all that and just live sailing the sea, and that made him a lot happier. It's a very light book, but it deals with the theme, I have everything, but I'm not happy, and maybe I need another kind of life. Then we have Heaven. Heaven's probably the most heartbreaking song in the entire album. I think it's just so perfect. I have the lyrics here, and it says, without losing a piece of me, how do I get to heaven? Without changing a part of me, how do I get to heaven? All my time is wasted, feeling that my heart's mistaken. So, if I'm losing a piece of me, maybe I don't want heaven. All this makes me want to cry. It's just so hard, so hard. So it's about religion and being queer. And for this one I have Autoboyography by Christina, and in this book you really see the struggle between being queer and being religious, because one of the heroes belongs to the Mormon church, so he is going to struggle exactly with this. Then is Youth, and Youth is all about youth, about teenagers experimenting new things, falling in love, sharing all these things with his friends. And it says, what if we start to drive? What if we close our eyes? What if spending through right lies into paradise? Cause we have no time for getting old, mortal body, timeless souls, cross your fingers, here we go. It's just, this is Hearstopper. Teenagers experimenting things, and I imagine Charles saying to Nick, my youth is yours, which is the chorus of the song. Now on to Lost Boy. Every time I think about Lost Boy, I think about Jeremy from Hills Overhead. This book is the only book is a hit or a miss, so maybe it's not for you, because a lot of my friends didn't like it, but for me and for other people, it's just a completely life changer. I just suffer so much with this book. Jeremy struggles with a lot of things. I have experimented in a lower level. His father is homophobic and he is gay, but he doesn't want to come out. He's never going to come out because he just wants to make his father proud, and it's so hard. I remember once seeing Jeremy is one of the top divers in the entire world. I don't remember if he won world championship or something like that, very big something, and one of his dad's co-worker congratulated his dad for his son winning the gold. And his dad, he was ashamed that his co-worker knew that his son played a gay sport. I wanted to cry so hard, like so hard. I just relate so much with Jeremy. I think you loving this book or not will depend if you can relate with Jeremy, because the problem with this book is that it's all about Jeremy and very little about the other hero, who is Brandon, because Brandon has his life together. He's very confident of what he is. He doesn't need to change anything, whereas Jeremy is the one that's going to have all the character development. So it's more centering in that, and also Jeremy is the one that is always going to hurt Brandon. So it's very unbalanced, not very fair, but I just understood Jeremy so much that it's not that I didn't care. I do think Brandon could have just left, but I do understand why Jeremy behaved the way he did. And I have to quote, and it says, "I say I wanna settle down, build your hopes up like a tower. I'm giving you the wrong around. I'm just a lost boy, not ready to be found." And this is Jeremy. Like, at some point, he will have to decide if he wants to keep being the person his dad wants him to be, even though he is not and he will never be, or he just wants to live his life and stop being the lost boy and stop hurting Brandon. The next one is my comfort, happy, cute, wholesome song. I always listen to this song when I'm feeling super happy about something, and it's for him. It's about two lovers who have just get together, and it's all the happiness of wanting to be with each other all the time, and they are in secret, but they don't care because they are just so good when they are together. And it says, you don't have to say I love you to say I love you. This reminds me a lot of Hostile, because in Hostile we have two main characters that are in his last year before college, and one of them is going to college and the other one is not. So when they got together, they only have one summer for themselves. So they are kidding themselves that are just friends with benefits and they are not in love, even though they both know they are in love with each other, but they never say the words because it will make everything harder. So you don't have to say I love you to say I love you. And the last one is Suburbia. For me, this is one of the most underrated songs in history because I love this song so much, and it's one of the less well-known songs by him. It's about someone who is going back to his old neighborhood, so he's remembering things and he's feeling like nothing has changed. I feel the nostalgia of being here, and for this one I have the most classic, well-known college romance ever between two guys that used to be best friends, and they will meet every summer in a hockey summer camp, and something happened. You don't know why, but they don't really talk anymore, and it's Him Series by Sarina, Bowen and Elle Kennedy. So Wes, one of the heroes, feels like that thing that happened was him taking advantage of Jamie. So now he's ashamed and he doesn't want to talk to Jamie. And Jamie is very hurt for this because he has lost his best friend. And they meet again in a hockey game because both of them are hockey players in college. And Wes decides to go back to this summer hockey camp to coach the children, because Jamie goes there every year to coach the children, and they have one last summer for them to talk through things and be friends again. During this summer, they are going to remember all the fun they had together, and you know that Wes is in love with Jamie and that's why he stopped talking with him, and Jamie doesn't know this, he thinks he's straight, but during this last summer he will find out some interesting things about himself. And that's it for this video. Hope you have a good time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next video.